Hey friends, what's up? Ash here. Welcome to Gents. Hope they're having an awesome day. It's time for another fragrance buying guide, and the line that we're taking a look at today is the Armaf Club de Nuit line. Heralded the world over as the highest quality, most fantastic... Oh, no. Nope. Actually, it's just a really well-known clone line. Yeah, that's it. But we're going to be talking about them. We're going to be talking about the good ones and the not so good ones. I'll be letting you know which fragrances I think stand out in the Armaf Club de Nuit line. I'll let you know what each one of these fragrances is a clone of, and also let you know if there are any other alternatives that maybe you should seek out instead of the Armaf or in addition to the Armaf. So let's jump into it. Let's check out the Club de Nuit line. Now, these are all mad cheap because they're clone fragrances, but let's say you're shopping for a niche fragrance, right? Let's say you're shopping at twistedlily.com or maxaroma.com. What would you do? Well, my friend, you would type in the code GENTS10 to save yourself 10% off your order. That's what you do. Yeah, GENTS10 will save you 10% off your order at twistedlily.com and maxaroma.com. So keep that in mind. And I'll have each one of these linked in the description below in case you want to check them out. All right, so where should we start? Well, let's start with Club de Nuit Woman. Now, I do not own Club de Nuit Woman, but I do know what it's a clone of, and actually it's a pretty well-regarded clone of this fragrance. I'm not going to go into too much detail here because I know that my audience is like 97% men, but if you're interested in this one, it is a clone of Coco Mademoiselle from Chanel, and it's going to run you about $24. So that's Club de Nuit Woman. What about Club de Nuit Man? Well, here is Club de Nuit Man. This is going to run you about $21 from discounters, and that's for this size bottle, 105 milliliters or 3.6 fluid ounces. So 21 bucks, really, really cheap. What is this a clone of? Well, it's a clone of Paco Rabanne's 1 Million. It's got cinnamon, amber, ginger, and orange as some of the notes in the fragrance, and it is actually a really nice clone of 1 Million. So if you're a big fan of the Paco Rabanne, but you don't have the money to spend, you could go with this one. Another alternative is Halloween Man, just the original Halloween Man, because Halloween Man X is probably the most well-known from the Halloween fragrances right now, but that's not the one you want. You want just the original Halloween Man, which comes in a purple bottle. And as far as performance goes, Club de Nuit Man is solid, but it's not quite as good as Paco Rabanne's 1 Million for me. So the longevity is there. It'll last a long time. It projects well. 1 Million is just a little bit stronger. But again, for 21 bucks, it is an amazing alternative to the Paco. From there, let's jump into Club de Nuit Intense Man. This is the most popular, most well-known in this fragrance line, and there are multiple iterations of Club de Nuit Intense. Well, I guess first, we'll just talk very briefly about Club de Nuit Intense Woman. That one is a clone of Tom Ford's Noir de Noir. It's gonna run you roughly around $31 from discounters, so it's a bit more than the Club de Nuit Man and Club de Nuit Woman, but it is a really nice alternative to Noir de Noir, and it actually got a lot of hype for a time back maybe 6 years ago or so. Okay, Club de Nuit Intense Man. First up, we'll talk about the original Club de Nuit Intense Man, which is this one right here. This is the bottle pretty much everybody knows from this line. And this one you can get for about $25, give or take. So it's a really cheap alternative to Creed's Ventus. It's got lemon, pineapple, birch, blackcurrant, ambergris, pretty much what you would expect. The note breakdown for this is very similar to the note breakdown of this. The opening to Club de Nuit Intense Man is rough around the edges. It has kind of a chemically scent profile to it. The lemon is really strong, so you don't get quite as much of that pineapple that a lot of people love in the opening of a Ventus. Instead, to some people, it will come across smelling like a lemon cleaner, like a lemon household spray, just not really all that appealing in the opening to a bunch of people out there. Now, to be fair, when you've worn this a bunch of times, you get used to the opening and then it doesn't smell quite as bad. But for a lot of people, when they do smell this for the first time, they're gonna think, that opening, dude, that's harsh. Now, there are some things you can do to counteract that. You could layer this with other fragrances that have a really strong pineapple opening, stuff like Rave Now, for example, or Demeter's pineapple. A lot of people will do that. And then that additional pineapple that you're getting from the other fragrance will help offset that lemony forward opening here. But once you get past that opening, this is very close to Creed's Aventus for a much, much cheaper price, and it performs exceptionally. As I said, the performance here is great, and people love the smell of Club de Nuit Intense Man. Then you'll also find this at stores. This is Club de Nuit Intense Man, but this is the Pure Parfum or Parfum edition. You'll see it sometimes listed as Pure Parfum, other times just Parfum. Now you have to be careful here. You don't want to get that confused with Eau de Parfum. That's something separate. So this is the Parfum edition. And this is more expensive. It's going to run you about $58, give or take a couple bucks. This one comes in a 150 instead of a 105 milliliter bottle. So you can see the difference in size here. This one is 105, this one's 150. No breakdown for this, the exact same, if memory serves, as the original Club de Nuit Intense Man, and it is very similar to the original. There are some slight differences. So the Parfum edition is going to be a bit smoother overall. That opening is not quite as harsh. It has a more pronounced pineapple in the opening as compared to the more lemon forward Club de Nuit Intense Man. The black currant comes through a little bit more clearly here in the Parfum edition. And on the whole, the Parfum edition does smell a little bit higher quality, as you would expect, than the original Club de Nuit Intense. Now, all that being said, is it worth the price difference? I think that really just depends on you. If you're really strapped and you don't have a lot of money to spend, you'll be completely fine with the original Club de Nuit Intense Man. But if you have a little bit extra money to spend, I would say go ahead and go with the Parfum. But that one is not the last Club de Nuit Intense Man that you need to be aware of. There's also this one, Club de Nuit Intense Man Eau de Parfum. But wait, it's the limited edition. So you have Club de Nuit Intense Man, Eau de Toilette, and Eau de Parfum, which is the original. Then you have Club de Nuit Intense Man Parfum, which is something different. And then you have Club de Nuit Intense Man Eau de Parfum limited edition. And the limited edition Eau de Parfum is different than Club de Nuit Intense Man Eau de Parfum. Yeah, no, yeah. Basically, just think of it this way. If it's limited edition, that's something separate. So just limited edition is separate. Club de Nuit Intense Man, Eau de Toilette, or Eau de Parfum is one thing. And then Club de Nuit Intense Man Parfum is also something different. So this is the most expensive one. This one is $56 for 105 milliliters. So price-wise, it's about the same as the Parfum edition, but you get less of it. And if you're looking for just the best Club de Nuit Intense Man, this is the one you want. The limited edition is the best Armaf Club de Nuit Intense Man version. It has the nicest presentation. It is a fingerprint magnet, the bottle, but I do think it looks slightly better. The box looks way better for what that's worth. So this one's easily distinguishable as the richest, deepest, smoothest, best smelling Club de Nuit Intense Man. The opening here, much, much smoother, much richer. As I said, the pineapple coming through much more clearly. It doesn't have that synthetic chemical edge that the original has. As it dries down, the sweetness here comes out in a much more pronounced way. The birch here, just right. Club de Nuit Intense Man has maybe a little bit more of an obvious smokiness from the birch as it dries, but the way the birch comes across here is less synthetic smelling. It's got a much more natural scent profile to it. I think for your average Joe, if you have one of these, you probably don't need to get one of the other ones. So if you already have the original Club de Nuit Intense Man and you're happy with that, then that's cool. But if you want the best one, get this one. If you want, obviously, the most affordable one, get the original. If you want kind of to split the difference, get the Parfum, essentially. So those are the Aventus iterations. There are other Aventus clones out there, like just crazy amounts of Aventus clones out there. Frankly, too many to go over in this video. Maybe I'll do like a fragrance Aventus clone buying guide or whatever. Up next, let's tackle this one. It is Armaf Club de Nuit Urban Man. This one is gonna run you about 26 bucks for 105 ml size bottle. And this is really not worth looking into. This is essentially a clone of Mr. Burberry, which is not really very expensive and also is not really highly respected. By that, I mean, as far as the major brand blue fragrances go, Mr. Burberry is not really one of the most hyped, most loved ones. I think this is a little better than it gets credit for. Again, assuming you pick it up on the cheap from a discounter, but there's no point in having a clone of it because you can just get the real thing for not that much money. So Urban Man doesn't really make any sense. And on top of that, it's not even really a great clone because the quality on this is much, much lower than pretty much every other Club de Nuit fragrance as far as how it comes across, how it smells. So Urban Man, this is a flop. Don't really need it, just get the real thing. After that, Club de Nuit Sillage, man. Now this one is a clone of Creed's Silver Mountain Water. And Club de Nuit Sillage, depending on where you look, the prices fluctuate. Some places you can find it for about $31. Other places, it's gonna be about $10 more than that. So this one has a little bit of a wider price range depending on where you're looking than some of the others. Club de Nuit Sillage is a really, really good alternative to Silver Mountain Water. There are differences, but it's one of those things where for the overwhelming vast majority of people, the differences between these two are so minor that it doesn't make up the price difference. So Silver Mountain Water does smell richer. It does smell higher quality than Club de Nuit Sillage, which you would expect. Club de Nuit Sillage is a little bit sweeter to me, and Silver Mountain Water has more of that inky kind of feeling to it. It has more tea, whereas Club de Nuit Sillage focuses more on black currant and citrus in the top. And then as it dries down, ambroxan and musk and additional sweetness as compared to Silver Mountain Water having more of that brisk, very fresh, more sophisticated tone to it. But Club de Nuit Sillage, for the price, is one of the absolute best Silver Mountain Water alternatives or clones on the market, period. It's really, really nice. And I would say that Club de Nuit Sillage is closer probably on the whole to Silver Mountain Water than the original Club de Nuit Intense Man was to Aventus. Okay, so that's Sillage. Now the last one, as of this video anyway, Club de Nuit Milestone. And Club de Nuit Milestone is a clone of Millésime Imperial, once again from the House of Creed. Milestone you can pick up for about the same price as Sillage, $31, $32 in that price range. And yeah, it's really close to me. These are both quite similar, just like Sillage and Silver Mountain Water. If you want to really, spray them on side by side and go at it, you'll be able to tell that the Creed is the pricier of the two. It does smell more expensive. It does have more body to it. It has more of that sea salty, ambergris feel to it that you just can't quite emulate, or at least that they haven't been able to quite yet. But for the majority of people, that's going to be splitting hairs, frankly. Those two really, really close. So it's a sea salty fragrance. It has a really nice kind of watermelon vibe to it. Salted watermelon, people will say, in the opening. And then as it dries down, you have ambroxan in Club de Nuit Milestone, which is emulating that ambergris that you find in Millésime Imperial. Club de Nuit Milestone, just an amazing clone, frankly. For that price point, it's nuts. And as Armaf and other houses like Afnan and Lattafa come out with these clones that run you $25 to $35, sometimes even under $20, that get you like 90% of the way to the real deal, it just blows my mind, frankly. Because when clone fragrances really started to pop off a number of years ago, you could tell pretty easily which one was the clone and which one wasn't, because there was a big difference in the quality between the two. But as time has gone on, that gap has been closed. As I said, if you spray them on side by side and you go back and forth, you'll be able to tell which one is higher quality. But if you don't do that and you just wear it normally in the air, most people are not going to be able to tell the difference at all. So there we go, Armaf Club de Nuit fragrances. The only one I think you definitely don't need to check out at all is Urban Man. That one's really not good. Milestone, Sillage, and Club de Nuit Intense Man limited edition. Those three are the standouts. Those are the three best. All right, guys, I want to thank you for hanging with me here until the end. I do want to also say the limited edition, that one does pop into and out of stock with some regularity. So if it's out of stock, what you may want to do is just put your email address in on whichever website you're looking at. And when they get it in stock, they'll let you know. That one, more than any of the other ones, is a little hard to find sometimes. All right, guys, that'll do it for me. Thank you for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys later.